Just want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Tech Academy. Tech Academy is a software development boot camp which offers online or in-person training. Their program is self-paced and offers students flexible scheduling. They also offer open enrollment, which means you can start at any time. So if you're looking for a coding boot camp, I definitely recommend checking them out.
Hey, what's going on? John Simons here. So I got an interesting question about laziness. I've done some videos. I think I've got a laziness playlist, how to beat laziness. When I'm still getting over a cold, but this question is from Norbert, and he says, I've recently dropped out of a pretty useless college program to reapply to a lot more prestigious computer science program, and now I have a few months of downtime. I thought I'd be a lot more productive with more time on my hands, but I gradually lost motivation and became lazy as my obligations disappeared. I learned 2 to 3x more than I do now when I had 3 to 4 times less time to do so. How could I overcome my laziness and begin killing it again? So his question was really, let me see what he titled this. Why do we get lazy with less obligations? And that's really the question I'm going to address. I've already told you I've got a laziness playlist and how to beat laziness video. You should check that out. But I want to talk about this concept, right? And this is very true. When we have less obligations, we're more likely to be lazy. And so when you have a lot of free time, you're more likely to be lazy. Whereas if you have obligations and you have your schedule packed, you're going to be less lazy in general. So it's a good strategy for overcoming laziness is to pack your schedule up. The reason for this is really simple, actually. It's because when you have less obligations, you are making more decisions with your time, and you're using your judgment and willpower more, which is inevitably going to be your weak point, and you're going to fail, right? The more judgment calls that I have to make, the worse choices that I will make in my life, right? And this is something that you need to realize. Like, I would write this down. Still congested, but I would live my life by this, which is basically reduce judgment calls as much as possible, right? The higher number of decision points you make in your life, the more that you're going to fuck up and fail, okay? And so the way to get around this, okay, is to pre-make decisions ahead of time, right? That's why, like, I have a routine, I have a schedule, I know what days I'm lifting weights, I know how far I'm running, I know what I'm eating in general, okay? When I'm working hard and I'm trying to get shit done, I haven't mapped out. When I was writing my books, okay, I knew I needed to write so much per day, or how many chapters, or what chapters I was writing, okay? When I'm in the gym, I know exactly what weights I'm going to be lifting, what exercises I'm going to be doing, okay? Those are all really, really important in order to be able to be as productive as possible and not be lazy. But if I go and I sit at my desk and I say, I wonder what I should do today, I'm going to say, well, maybe I should, like, watch a YouTube video or watch a Netflix video or something like that, or go check Facebook and shit like that, as opposed to when I go to my desk and I say, okay, this is the first task I need to get done today, and I need to go get this done. I have a purpose. So the same thing with scheduling things, right? Again, I schedule stuff on my calendar. I scheduled my workouts. I would do that. I would schedule a lot of stuff for my day and plan it out. You can check out this video on how I plan my week. I'm not doing it right now. I'm actually being more lazy right now, and it is causing me to be more lazy. If I were planning things out like that, I would get a lot more done. But right now, I'm taking a bit of a breather as I'm sort of going through a different phase of my life right now. So don't follow my exact example now, but I can relate 100%. Sometimes, I would look back and I'd be like, man, why am I so lazy right now? Like, what has happened? I used to be super fucking productive. What happened and what I found was that I had less obligations. I gave myself a lot more free time, and the more free time that I had that I thought I was going to utilize, the less I utilized that effectively. It's better to have less time, but to have an objective for that time and to be focused and to say that I need to get this done. Sometimes you have that crunch and it forces you to work. But, in general, how can you deal with this situation, right? So I'll give you a couple of tips here. One, like I said, have a schedule. Have a routine, right? When I started becoming an entrepreneur, when I first left my job and it was all up to me, one of the first things I discovered is that I need to still have a routine. I need to have a time I got up. I need to have a time I worked. I need to have a time that I stopped working. I need to have a schedule within my day of what I was going to work on, okay? So that's number one, have a routine. Number two, plan things out. Actually have a calendar, actually have stuff written in, or some way of organizing your schedule so that you have obligations for that day that you expect to get done. Okay, that's going to keep you productive, and it's going to make sure that you get shit done. Number three, remember that you can pre-make decisions, right? These are kind of related, but you can pre-make decisions ahead of time, okay? So don't make judgment calls at your worst, make them at your best. So when you are in your best state, plan your week, plan your goals, plan everything that you want to do in your life and accomplish, and make commitments to those things, okay? Number four, I would say, is that remember that momentum is important. You got to get the ball rolling. If you're feeling lazy and you're feeling unmotivated, just start working, start getting stuff done, right? I mean, even today, right? I didn't want to record YouTube videos. I'm still feeling sick and stuff, but I'm just like, okay, I'm going to fucking turn on the camera. I'm going to start talking. I'm going to start recording the videos. Like, I just got to do it, okay? Like, there's so much, it takes more effort at some point to fucking procrastinate and delay doing something and to argue why you shouldn't do it than to just do it, okay? And so you just get going, okay? And then I'd say one last one, which is that remember that you don't need motivation in order to work and accomplish things, okay? And I'd say that the way that you can sort of, hack this is to realize that you just got to do it and think of it as life or death, right? I think of a lot of things as life or death, even though they're not, because that forces me to do it, okay? And I also have this vision of my future, and I just think, sometimes it's like you don't have the motivation to do something now because you don't feel like doing it, but you do have sort of a motivation for like what you want your life to be like in 6 months or a year or 2 years or 5 years. And so sometimes it's easier to visualize you losing that life, right? The thing that scares me the most into fucking action is when I'm like, shit, all this stuff that I've worked for, I don't want to lose it. So that can cause me to take action when I feel lazy. But yes, in general, we get lazy with less obligations. So give yourself obligations if you don't want to be lazy, and just realize this is human nature. If you have to make decisions and you keep on having to make decisions, the chances of you making poor ones increases astronomically. So stop making as many decisions. Instead, pre-make the decisions, pre-plan things out, and stick to the routine, stick to the schedule. That's the only way to do it. Okay, that's the only way that you're actually gonna be able to grind shit out. Is you got to have a rule. You got to have a rule book that you're following, and you can make that rule book when you're in the best state. You don't want to try and make the rules up on the fly. All right, that's all I got for you today. If you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button below. Click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.